Hello and welcome to English 110. This is the first year composition course for Missouri State University, the online version. I'm your instructor. My name is Tristan Hooker. I'm a graduate student and also an instructor at Missouri State, and I'm going to be working with you for the next 16 weeks as we meet virtually and online, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you as we go through the process. Right now, what I want to do is just kind of give you a very, very basic overview of the course and go through the syllabus in this video. Every week you'll find I'll post a lecture or an intro video to help you deal with the work for that week. There's going to be a lot of me talking this week. There'll be less and less of that as we go forward and we focus on your writing and my feedback for your writing and your feedback to one another. But since we are kind of disembodied a little bit, we're not in the same room or the same space together, I want us to spend some time this week getting to know each other, for you guys to get to know each other as well as me getting to know you and you getting to know me. Hopefully then we can become as much of a community as we possibly can. One of the things you'll notice about our approach to teaching composition at Missouri State is that we definitely see our courses as community-based and as communities of writers. And what we want to do with this course is not just to have you all generate a bunch of papers that then get graded, but to introduce all of you to the writing process and to what it feels like to be going through that writing process, and that means research and presentation of information with other people. In order to do that, needs to involve some conversation and some dialogue. So as we go through the syllabus and then as we go through the work this week and in the following weeks, I hope it becomes clear to you that what we're working toward right now is helping all of you develop new thought through language, because most of us working in composition today see thought and language as tied to one another completely, and I hope that that becomes a little bit more clear as we go on. I don't want to throw too much heady information at you right up front. One thing you will notice as you look through the rest of the work this week is there's another video that talks a bit more about that connection between thought and language, gives you kind of the more of the philosophy of this class, and there's another video that gives you a walkthrough of the Blackboard site that we'll be using, which will show you specifically where to put all of the different kinds of work that you'll be doing this week and in all of the coming weeks. So look to those as well in addition to this syllabus overview. I'm going to try to keep the videos short so you can sort of take them in piecemeal. But so let's just jump right in. I've got a copy of the syllabus in front of me on my computer. I want all of you to do the same. So if you're watching this video and you don't have a copy of the syllabus available, if you haven't looked at it, just pause, come back with a copy, and we'll go through not every single word. I'm going to let you read some of it on your own, but I'm going to hit the highlights. Okay, at the top of that syllabus, you've got all of my contact information. The best way to get a hold of me is to send me an email. We're working in the internet. I'm going to try to get back to you within a business day. If it's a weekend, it may take a little bit longer. I do check my email most of the time on weekends, but as we said, we're going to try to keep to business hours. And that's detailed on the syllabus as well. If you want to meet with me, we can do that as well, in person or perhaps even virtually. If you want to set that up, just email me and we'll find a way to make that happen. All right, course description. If you look at that course description, this is called English 110. Now, one of the things I'm going to have you guys write about this week and discuss with one another is what your experience of classes that we call English classes has been up to this time. My guess, especially if you're coming straight from high school, and I know some of you aren't, but if you are, my guess is that probably your English classes have been a mixture of literature classes and then also writing classes. Or perhaps even mostly just literature classes, and the writing that you did was analyzing the text that you were reading in that class. If that's the case, you're going to find that this course and a lot of the general education English courses that you take at Missouri State are not really the same. This is an English composition course, so our focus this semester is on writing. You're going to be doing a lot of writing. That's really the only way to get practice with it. As an academic, as a member of this academic community, you're going to be expected to do a lot of writing. One of our jobs in this course is to get you used to that culture and to prepare you for that kind of work. Now, the reason that that's so is partly back to that philosophy I was talking about before, where we tend to think of writing and conversation, which usually we mean talking to one another vocally out loud, but in this course you'll find that also means written conversations. That's how thought is made. That's how research is best done. You're entering the conversation right now as you develop your work for the academy, for the university, and then just also as you become critical citizens and students and individuals. We want to help speed that work along and help you develop it. So that said, when you look at this course description, you'll see that critical reading and writing skills applicable to writing within and beyond the college community is what we're focusing on. So you will be doing reading in this course. Critical reading is an essential skill for understanding arguments, for working with one another's writing, for analyzing your own writing, and also it's an important part of literacy in general. So you will be doing reading, you will be analyzing texts, you will be doing research, which will involve reading, but the focus of this course is not necessarily on a single text or on doing literary analysis. Everything goes back into that critical conversation and analysis for writing. Okay, so if you look down just a little bit further, English 110 goals. We're going to talk, and again, we'll go into this a little bit more in the second video, but writing is a rhetorical act. We're going to analyze a rhetorical situation, the genre and the discourse community, and then work on rhetorical analysis. So just very briefly, rhetoric refers to the language we use to influence one another. So when we talk about a rhetorical situation, we're talking about anything that influences the language that you need to use or that is used in a certain situation. And we're going to talk quite a bit about analyzing a situation as an observer or analyzing what you need to do as a person who's part of that interaction as well. If you are part of an interaction or a conversation about a certain issue, then you're part of a discourse community. We'll talk more about that later, but when you hear that term used, that's what we mean. And then rhetorical analysis, that's what you're going to be doing just about every week in here with a different text or with your own texts. We're also, like I said, going to be looking at academic discourse, what it means to write here at the academic university. We're going to work on getting you accustomed to that culture. That means writing in an approved format, the format that is used across the university, and that would be expected, and that is there for reasons, and we'll talk about those as we come along. We will also be talking about how to be a good ethical researcher and writer within this framework. Sometimes this can get to be a bit of a conversation that seems like there are rules there just to punish you or to make things difficult for you, but really it's all about creating a situation of trust where we know that the things that we say are worth being taken seriously because we've been ethical in their creation, and that the things that we take in are worth considering because they've been ethical in their creation. So that, in short, is why we have things like MLA formatting and working on citing your research appropriately. That's one of the goals of this course. So the third point there, the writing process, this is a big one. This is the one that's going to feel like the thing you do the most. One of the things that you will find with this course is we treat writing almost solely as a process. There's a big argument that takes place within, or that has taken place for a long time within the field of writing studies or composition about whether what we're working on is a product, so the final essay, the thing that you would hand in to me or that you would publish out to the world, or whether what we're working on is developing a process for you to think of life as a constant state of writing and revising. And yes, I did say life, not just the papers you're working on, because that's sort of the way writers tend to view life, is that everything is in process. Everything is in a provisional stage that you will someday get to revisit and rewrite. Writing is rewriting. You'll hear me say that again and again. So I've tipped my hand a bit. We definitely fall on the side of seeing writing as a process. So what that means for you is that you will turn in multiple drafts of every project that we do, and you won't necessarily ever finish the things you write. You just will get to the point where you've submitted a revised draft that's ready to be published to other people and then to be graded. More on that in a minute.